Good morning, students. Today, I will going to talk about constants, variables, and data types. Constants, variables, and data types. Okay. So, first one is called the character set of the C language. Get the characters that can be used to form words, numbers, and expressions depend upon the computer on which the program is run. However, a subset of characters is available that can be used on most personal, micro, mini, and mainframe computers. The characters in C are grouped into the following categories: letters, digits, special characters, and white spaces. The entire character set is available. Okay, please refer the textbook for elaborated character sets. Uh, Repeat, the characters in C are grouped into the following categories: letters, digits, special characters, and white spaces. Okay, the C character set includes like letters like uppercase letters A to Z, lowercase letters like small a to Z, comma, period. I mean, its dot is called period, semicolon, colon, question mark, apostrophe, quotation mark, exclamation mark, sorry, vertical bar, slash, backslash, tilde, underscore, dollar sign, percent sign. These are all the letters. Then special characters include white spaces like blank space, horizontal tab, carriage return, new line, form feed, etc. Digits. All decimal digits from 0 to 9. Okay. White spaces. I'll repeat: blank space, horizontal tab, carriage return, new line, and form speed. Then special characters like ampersand, caret, asterisk, minus, plus, opening angle bracket, or less than, greater than symbol. It's also called closing angle bracket, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, left bracket, right bracket, left brace, right brace, number sign, that is ash. These are all the different characters grouped. Okay. C tokens. In a passage of text, individual words and punctuation marks are called as tokens. Similarly, in a C program, the smallest individual units are known as C tokens. C has 6 types of tokens. C has 6 types of tokens. Okay. One is missing in the slide. Please include that. Keywords, identifiers, constants, string is missing, operators, and special symbols. Okay. A token is the smallest individual unit in a C program. C has 6 types of tokens: keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, special symbols, and operators. Keywords, for example, float, int, we have used, while is a keyword, break, case, char, char, continue, default, do, else, enum, okay, go to, switch, while, void, we have used in one of the slides of your previous class. These are all the examples for C keywords. Then identifiers, okay. The general rule for identifier is normally anything starting with a letter, okay, followed by any number of letters and digits. Okay, main, for example, main we have used, it's a identifier. Anything, you can also write ABC, just ABC, or XYZ, or your name, but the first character must be a letter followed by any number of letters or digits. So every C word is classified as either a keyword or as an identifier. All the keywords have fixed meaning, and these meanings cannot be changed. Keywords meaning cannot be changed. Keywords cannot be used as the names of identifiers. Keywords serve as the building blocks for programming statements. The list of all the keywords of ANSI C are also available. All the keywords must be written in lowercase. Some compilers may use additional keywords that must be identified from the C manual. Identifiers refers to the names of the variables, functions, and arrays. These are user-defined names and consist of a sequence of letters and digits with a letter as the first character. Both uppercase and lowercase letters are permitted. Although lowercase letters are commonly used, the underscore character is also permitted in identifiers. It is usually used as a link between two words in long identifiers. And the rules for identifiers are, the first rule is the first character must be in alphabet or underscore. Second one, must consist of only letters, digits, or underscore. Third one, only the first 31 characters are significant. Fourth one, cannot use a keyword as an identifier name. Fifth one, must not contain white space. Okay, these are the rules for the identifiers. Then comes constants. Constants in C refer to the fixed values that do not change during the execution of the program. Constant, as the name itself indicates, they have fixed values and that do not change during the execution of the program. C supports several types of constants. Okay. Look at the keywords. First one is keyword. Tokens which have predefined meaning in C language. They are reserved for specific purpose. Auto, double, if, static, break, else, instruct, all these are examples for keywords. Keywords should not be used as variables, function names, array names, etc. All the keywords should be written in lowercase letters. Keywords meaning cannot be changed by the users. Then comes identifiers. Identifiers are the names given to the program elements such as variables, constants, function names, array names, etc. It consists of one or more letters or digits, as I already informed, or underscore. Rules. Rules we have already discussed, like the first character must be in alphabet. Underscore is also permitted. May consist of letters, digits, or underscore. Only the first 31 characters are significant. Cannot use keyword. Must not contain white space. Identifiers are case sensitive. Okay. Then constants. Constants in C refer to fixed values that do not change during the execution of a program. There are different types of constants. Integer constant, real constant or floating point constant, enumeration constant, character constant, and string constant. Let us first talk about integer constant. An integer constant refers to a sequence of digits. There are three types of integers, namely the decimal integer, octal integer, and hexadecimal integer. Decimal integers consist of a set of digits 0 through 9, predefined by an optional minus or plus sign. Valid examples of decimal integer constants are 123, minus 321, 0, plus 78, etc. Octal integer consists of any combination of digits from the set 0 through 7 with a leading 0. Some of the examples of octal integers are 027, 0657, 0777645, etc. Hexadecimal. Hexadecimal integers, they are the digits from 0 to 9 and characters from A to F. It has to start with 0x or either capital or small. Okay. Then let us talk about the real constants. Okay, floating point constants are based in numbers that are represented by functional parts such as 10.5. They can be positive or negative. Okay, integer numbers are inadequate to represent the quantities that vary continuously. Okay, that's why the quantities are represented by numbers containing the fractional parts. For example, 10.5, 0.5, it's the fractional part. Such numbers are called real or floating point constants. You can give many other examples. Okay, fractional part, exponential form. There are two forms. A floating point number represented using fractional form as an integer part followed by dot and a fractional part. 0.0083. Okay, 0 is the integer part. After a dot, whatever comes, it's the fractional part. Okay, by default, if it is an integer, if it's a floating point number, after a dot, there must be 6 zeros by default. Okay, so exponential form. A floating point number represented using exponent form has three parts. Mantissa, that is E exponent. Mantissa E exponent is the syntax. Mantissa space E space exponent. Mantissa is either real number expressed in decimal notation or integer. Exponent must be integer with optional plus or minus. For example, 9.86 space capital letter E space 3. It's nothing but 9.86 into 103. Okay, I mean 10 to the power of 3. That is 103. It's 10 to the power of 3. Or 9.86 E space minus 3. It is 9.86 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Next. Okay. We can also find the single character constants, anything written within a single quote. For example, 5, if it is written within single quote, or x, if it is written in single quote, it is called as single character constants. Then comes string constants. String constants are written within double quotes. So anything written in double quotes, it becomes a string constant. Enumeration constant. A set of named integer constants defined using the keyword enum. Enum is the keyword. A set of named integer constants. A set of named integer constants, okay, defined using the keyword enum. Enum is the keyword, or called enumeration constants. For example, syntax is enum, identifier within the opening and closing braces, enum list. Example, enum, boolean, no, comma, yes. No is assigned with 0, yes is assigned with value 1. For example, enum, enumeration, enumerated data type. So if you make use of enum, it becomes enumerated data type. Enum space days, Monday, Tuesday, comma Wednesday. Okay, Monday is assigned with 0, Tuesday is assigned with 1, Wednesday is assigned with 2. So next comes character constants. Character constants. A symbol enclosed within pair of single quotes is called a character constant. Each character is assigned with unique value called ASCII value. We have already discussed about this American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Each character has a unique value. What is the ASCII value for small letter A? 97. What is the ASCII value for capital letter A? 65. Capital letter B? 66. And it continues. For example, as I quoted, anything written within a single quote, it is called single character constant. 9 is written within single quote. Dollar is written within single quote. Okay, they are all single character constants. Black slash constants, escape sequence characters. For example, slash a within single quote. The meaning is audible alert. Slash p within single quote. The meaning is backspace. Slash f within single quote, meaning is form feed. Slash n within single quote, it means new line. Slash t within single quote means horizontal tab. Slash v within single quote means vertical tab. Okay, and it continues. There are several other definition. An escape sequence character begins with the backslash and is followed by one character. Okay, like slash a within single quote. It begins with a backslash and is followed by one character. A backslash along with a character give rise to special print effects. It always start with backslash, hence they are called backslash character constants. Look at the backslash character constant. Slash a, slash p, slash n, slash t. Slash a means bell. You'll get some audible alert. Beep sound. If you include slash in your program, you can able to hear a beep sound. Slash p, it's the backspace. Cursor moves towards left by one position. Slash n, it's the new line. Cursor moves to the next line. Slash t, it's the horizontal tab. Cursor moves towards right by 8 position. Slash r, it's the carriage return. Cursor moves toward beginning of the same line. Slash, just double quote. Double quote within slash double quote, and the entire thing must be written within single quote. It's the double quote, single quote, question mark, then backslash. Even for backslash, there must be always a backslash. Slash 0, it's the null. String constant, a sequence of characters enclosed within a pair of double quotes. It's called a string constant. A string always ends with a null. Okay, a string always ends with a null. For example, 9 within double quotes, and there must be slash 0. Then what we have not discussed, keywords we have discussed, identifiers we have discussed, constants we have discussed, strings, special symbols, operators. There are 6 tokens. A token is the smallest individual unit. There are 6 tokens what have talked about: string, keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, special symbols, operators. Operators I will going to discuss in the next, probably next class. Okay, a detailed explanation and different operators available are going to be discussed in the next class because it's a huge set. Okay, otherwise all the remaining concepts have been discussed. So before that, a variable. Okay, variable, because the chapter name is constants, variables and data types. Constants, variables and data types. Okay, variable is included at the end. So first, let us talk about data types and sizes. Data types and sizes. Data type defines the type of data stored in memory location or the type of data the variable can hold. The classification of data types are fundamental data types or primary data types. Second one is derived data types. Okay. Third one is, it's missing here, but there is a provision for the third one called user defined data types. First one is fundamental or primary data type. Second one is derived data type. Third one is user defined data type. There are few basic data types supported in C. Okay, int, float, double, char, and wide. These are the data types supported. These are the basic or primary data types supported in C. Let us talk about integer data type, int. Int. Okay. Integers are whole numbers with a range of values supported by a particular machine. Generally, integers occupy one word of storage. And since the word sizes of machines vary, typically 16, 32 bits, the size of an integer that can be stored depends on the computer. Okay. If the machine is 16-bit machine, then the length of an integer data type, what it supports is 16 bits, I mean 2 bytes, that becomes one word. If we use a 16-bit word length, the size of the integer value is limited to the range minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. A signed integer uses 1 bit for sign and 15 bits for the magnitude of the number. Similarly, a 32-bit word length can store an integer ranging from minus, okay, it's a very big number because 2 to the power of 32 is a very big range. So in case of integer data type, you can have different integer types like long int, and short int. Okay. C has 3 classes of integer storage, namely short int, and long int, in both signed and unsigned forms. Okay, you can have signed and unsigned short int, and long int. For example, short int represents fairly small integer values and requires half the amount of storage as a regular int number uses. Unlike signed integers, unsigned integers use all the bits for the magnitude of the numbers and always positive. We declare long and unsigned integers to increase the range of values. The use of qualifier signed on integers is optional because the default declaration assumes a signed number. Okay. So you can have char or signed char. Let us talk about the floating point types. A float is a keyword using which the programmer can inform the compiler that the data associated with this keyword should be treated as floating point number. Normally its size is 4 bytes. The range is The range is minus 3.4e 38 to plus 3.4e 38. I mean, normally, okay, exponential form, it's given. Again, here you can have float, double, and long double. Floating point or real numbers are stored in 32 bits. On all 16-bit and 32-bit machines, they are stored in 32 bits with the 6 digits of precision. I mean, decimal part and fractional part. Okay, integer part and fractional part. Fractional part after dot, by default there are 6 digits for a floating point number. Floating point numbers are defined in C by the keyword float. When the accuracy provided by a float number is not sufficient, the type double can be used to define the number. A double data type number uses 64 bits, giving a precision of 14 digits. These are known as double precision numbers. Okay, if you think after dot, okay, in case of float, there are 6 digits. If you think precision and accuracy is not up to the mark, then you can go for double. Double data type number uses 64 bits. I mean 8 bytes. Float is 4 bytes. Double is 8 bytes. It gives 64 bits, giving a precision of 14 digits. Okay. These are known as double precision numbers. Remember that the double type represents the same data type that float represents, but with a greater precision. To extend the precision further, we may use long double, which uses 80 bits. I mean 10. Float is 4 bytes, double is 8 bytes, long double it is 10. Double, it's 8, and the long double it's given here. A double is a keyword using which the programmer can inform the compiler that the data associated with this keyword should be treated. Okay. Character data type, integer, floating point, then character. Char is a keyword which is used to define a single character or a sequence of character in C language, capable of holding one character from the local character set. The size of the character variable is 1 byte. The range is from minus 28 to plus 127. I mean 2 to the power of 8, 2 to the power of 8, it is from 0 to 255. Including 0, it becomes 256. The range is from minus 128 to plus 127. Each character stored in memory is associated with a unique value termed as ASCII. It is used to represent the character and strings. Okay. Void data type. It's an empty data type. No memory is allocated. Mainly used when there are no written values. So roughly speaking, character data type takes 8 bits. Integer data types it depends on the word length of the host machine. If the word length of the host machine is 16 bits, then the length of the integer is 16 bits. Or if the length of the host machine is 32 bits, then the length of the integer is 4 bytes. Okay, 32 bits. Then comes float. Float is 4. Double is 8 bytes. Float is 4 bytes. Double is 8 bytes. Long double is 10 bytes. I mean 80 bits. Okay, character 1. Float is either 2 bytes or 4 bytes. It depends on the word length of the host machine. Float is 4 bytes. Double is 8 bytes. Long double is 10 bytes. Let us talk about variables. Okay. So a variable is a name given to memory location where data can be stored. The very first important point is variable is a name given to memory location. Okay, a variable where data can be stored. A variable is a data name that may be used to store a data value. Unlike constants that remain unchanged during the execution of a program, a variable may take different values at different times. That's why its name is variable. Look at the name, variable. Its value keeps on changing, varying during the execution of the program. Constant means its value will never going to be changed. Varying, variable. Okay, variable may take different values of different at different times during the execution of the program. We can use several variables. For instance, the variable amount, amount. Uh, and normally we select suitable names for the variables. For example, if you are declaring, if you are writing a program to store the value amount, to store money, then the variable name must be equal to amount or anything related of that kind. So a variable name can be chosen by the programmer in a meaningful way, ultimately, so as to reflect its function or nature in the program. Some examples of such names are average, height, total, okay, class strength, counter. As mentioned earlier, variable names may consist of letters, digits, and underscore character. Okay, and there are some conditions. And again, I would like to say a very important statement. Everything in C is either classified as either a keyword or identifier. Okay, variable names are nothing but identifiers. Rules are again the same. They must begin with a letter. Some systems permit underscore as the first character. ANSI standard recognizes. Look at the rules for the variables. First character must be an alphabet or underscore. ANSI standard recognizes the length of first 31 characters. However, the length should not be normally more than 8 characters, since only the first 8 characters are treated as significant by many compilers like C99. At least 63 characters are significant. Uppercase and lowercase letters are significant. That is, the variable capital letter T, O, capital letter T, small letter O, small letter T, small letter A, small letter L, capital total, and all the letters in the word total small case are different. It should not be a keyword. Variable name cannot be a keyword. White space is not allowed. Okay. No extra symbols are allowed other than letters, digits, and underscore. Keywords cannot be used as identifier. I mean, since the variable names are identifiers, most of the rules for the identifiers are the same as the rules for variables. Some it's valid, for one valid, for invalid. Look at the examples for the names of the variables. For it is invalid since for is a keyword. Keyword cannot be used as the name of a variable, hence it is invalid. Declaration of variables. Giving a name to the memory location is called declaring a variable. Reserving the required memory space to store the data is called defining a variable. Okay, declaration means a name is given. Okay. Assigning, defining, or the process of giving the initial value to a variable is called initialization. Declaration is different. Initialization is different. Giving just a name to the memory location is called declaration. And once it is declared, you can give the initial value to a variable. The process of giving initial value to a variable is called initialization. Okay, general syntax, general rule. Look at data type, space, variable. Data type, for example, int. Variable name, for example, a. Int a. Look at the example given below. Int a. Int is a data type. What we have discussed, it's a primary data type or fundamental data type. Name of the variable is a. It is ending with a semicolon. You can also group two or more variables together. Float x comma y. Here x comma y are the variables of type float. Int a. A is a variable of type integer. Double sum. Sum is a variable of type double. Okay. So data type variable 1 comma variable 2 dot 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 up to variable n. You can also group two or more variables together. That is also possible. These are all the general syntaxes for declaration of the variables. Next comes initialization. As I have already quoted, the process of giving initial value to a variable. Once a variable is declared, you must assign a value to the variable. For example, variables are not initialized when they are declared and defined. They contain global values, sorry, garbage values. I mean, garbage values means meaningless values. The method of giving initial values for variables before they are processed is called variable initialization. General syntax is var underscore name is equal to expr, where var underscore name is the name of the variable. Expr is the value of the expression. Expr on the right hand side is evaluated and stored in the variable name on the left hand side. Okay. For example, the expression on the right hand side may be a constant variable or a larger formula built from simple expressions by arithmetic operators. Look at the examples. Int a is equal to 10. Int is a data type. A is the name of the variable. Is equal to is the assignment operator. I'll talk about it later. 10 is the value given to the variable a. Okay. Left hand side is the variable. Right hand side is the value of the variable. Okay. Assigns 10 to the integer variable a. Float x. Float x. Look at semicolon. X is declared but not defined. Okay, x is equal to 20. X gets the value 20. X, float x, it's the declaration. X is equal to 20 is the initialization. Int a10 is both declaration and initialization. A is both declared of type integer and assigned the value 10. So we have completed both declaration and initialization within the same statement. And you can do separately, declaration separately and initialization separately, like in float x semicolon x is equal to 20. X is declared but not initialized. Initialization is done separately. X is equal to 20. So x creates a variable of type float and assigns the value 20 to it. Okay, so apart from apart from apart from what we have discussed in today's class in the slides, there are few more things to be discussed. Okay, uh, in case of data types, I've said like primary data types. There are three different data types: fundamental or primary data type, derived data type, and one more is user defined data types. Fundamental data types like int, character, int, float. Okay, they are all primary data types. Derived data types, I'll talk about later. User defined data types. User defined data types. User can define enumerated data type is an example for user defined data type. Enumeration data type, what I have discussed, is an example for user defined data type that you can include. And the declaration of storage classes. There are 4 storage classes. Okay. Probably we will learn again in the upcoming classes, but for time being, I'll mention the different storage classes are auto, static, extern, and register. Static, extern, and register. Auto means it's a local variable known only to the function in which it is declared. Static means local variable which exists and retains its value even after the control is transferred to the calling function. Extern means it's a global variable known to all the functions in the file. Register means it's a local variable which is stored in the register. Equals means it's an assignment operator. You can read the data from the keyboard using scanf statement. Okay, that will be discussed later. You can read data from the keyword using scanf statement, and you can print uh, something on the screen using printf statement. All these are available in stdio.h. Ash include stdio.h. They're part of link section. Okay, and I've also talked about symbolic constants in the previous class, like hash define space pi space 3.14. So wherever pi appears in the program, pi is replaced with the value 3.14. Hash define max 200. Wherever max appears in the program, max is replaced with the value 200. Okay, so rules are symbolic names have the same form as variable names. No blank space between the pound sign, that is hash, and the word define is permitted. Hash must be the first character in the line. A blank space is required between hash define and symbolic name, and between the symbolic name and the constant. Hash define statements must not end with a semicolon. After definition, the symbolic name should not be assigned any other value within the program by using an assignment statement. Symbolic names are not declared for data types. It, its data type depends on the type of the constant. Hash defined statements may appear anywhere in the program, but before it is referenced in the program. Okay, so these are some of the uh, and some of the points to remember. Do not use underscore as the first character of identifier, because many of the identifiers in the system library start with underscore. Use only 31 or less characters for identifiers. Do not use keywords or any system library names for identifiers. Use meaningful and intelligent names for the variable names. Do not create variable names that differ only by 1 or 2 letters. Integer constants by default assume int types. To make the numbers long or unsigned, we must append the letters capital letter L and capital letter U to them. Floating point constant default to double. Use single quote for character constants and double quotes for string constants. A character is stored as an integer. Do not use lowercase for I for long, as it is usually confused with the letter 1. Okay. Do not combine declarations with executable statements. Do not use semicolon at the end of hash define directive. Okay, these are the some of the important points what uh, needs to be remembered. So today we have discussed many things. related to constants, variables, and data types. First, I have discussed the character set. Okay, I'll brief it again. Character set includes letters, digits, special characters, and white spaces. And then C tokens, smallest individual units. C tokens are the smallest individual units. There are 6 types: keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, special symbols, and characters. Okay. Then we have also discussed the data types, different types of data types: character, integer, floating point, double. Okay. So what are variables, how to declare and initialize variables, what are symbolic constants, how to make use of them in the program. Okay. So we have discussed all these points in today's class. Please keep the syllabus. Please go through the textbook. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me at any point of time. Fine. Along with this recorded material, you will also get some notes and multiple choice questions. Please answer the questions. And if you still have any doubts, you can ask me freely. Hope this material helps you to learn this subject better. Okay. So that's all for today. I'll continue with the next class. I'll continue the I'll continue with the next topic in the next class. Thank you for listening to me. Okay, we will end this session. So thank you. We'll end our meeting. Thank you. Thank you.